Caring for around 30 reptiles sounds like a lot. So what are some things that I have to buy every month to take care of that many animals? Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Zoe, but most people know me as 𝑘𝙪𝙨𝙀𝑅eptiles. And today we're going to do a requested video on what I have to buy every month. Now, I want to preface this with saying that I went to school for zookeeping. I own my own reptile education business. So having this many animals is necessary for what I do. Would I recommend that the average pet parent have this many animals? Probably not. It is a lot of work, but it's what I love to do and what I do for my job. Now, I can't really give you how much I spend in a month because every month is different. I'm not usually buying the same things every month. I'm buying different amounts every month. So I'm just going to give you a list of 7 things that on average I'm buying monthly. Starting with number 1, the thing that I do consistently have to buy multiple times a month, and those are greens. Greens, veggies, fruit for my herbivorous and omnivorous reptiles. My bearded dragon, my uromastyx, my tegu, my blue-tongued skink, my pancake tortoise, any of my animals that are going to be eating greens, fruits, and veggies. Greens don't last very long. I've gotten pretty good at making them last quite a bit of time, but usually I'm having to buy greens about 3 times a month. Next on the list is bugs, because a lot of our lizards are eating bugs. Now, I do breed my own dubia roaches and my own mealworms, but I do buy things like hornworms, nutrigrobs, and superworms. So I usually do this about once a month. And I get my bugs primarily from dubia.com and Ovipost. Highly recommend. Links and discount codes in the description below. But those are for my animals, like all of my geckos, my fat-tailed geckos, my leopard gecko, my Sheltopusik, my Ackie monitor, again, my bearded dragon, my blue-tongued skink, my jeweled lacerda, and also my invertebrates. Number 3 on the list are heat bulbs. Now, this depends on the month, but usually I am buying heat bulbs even if I don't necessarily need them, just to have backups on hand, because I feel like a lot of my heat bulbs do burn out often. And not even often, it's just like when one burns out, multiple burn out. There's never just like one at a time. It's always like 3 at a time. So I like to have extra on hand. So usually in a month I'm buying more just to keep in my closet to have on hand as backup. Number 4 is substrate. Now, I don't find that I'm always buying lots of different like main components of substrates like topsoil, sand, Reptibark, Reptichip, whatever. It's a lot of the embellishments. So moss, leaf litter, cork bark, things like that. But if there's ever a sale, I do tend to also just get my normal substrates to have on hand. That way, if I'm ever cleaning or I need to set up a new enclosure, I've got extra substrate on hand. But in general, in my monthly costs, we're looking at usually leaf litter and moss. Things that need to be refreshed and replaced. Next up are enrichment items. So we're talking sticks. I had already mentioned cork bark, but cork bark, fake plants, and live plants especially, because I can't keep live plants alive inside of my enclosures, so I'm constantly buying new ones to replace the ones that have died so that my enclosures still look nice and naturalistic. So I haven't bought live plants in a while because I'm trying to save money, and why am I going to spend money on something I'm just going to end up killing? But soon I would like to kind of refreshen the enclosures with live plants, so we're going to have to spend a little bit of money doing that. So that used to be a monthly expense. I haven't done that in a while though. But also, if I see anything that I think would be fun enrichment, even if it's not naturalistic enrichment, I'm usually keeping my eyes out for things like that, so that I can just like kind of swap in and out of enclosures to spruce up their lives and make their lives exciting. And finally, number 6 and number 7, they kind of go together because I prep them about the same time. And that is my Argentine tegu's food and my alligator snapping turtle's food. So usually I have to buy the food every other month, not really every month, because I do buy everything in bulk, meal prep it, and freeze it. So this is things like raw chicken, turkey, lamb, beef, fish, shrimp. So the bulk of her meals is what I'm buying every other month. And then of course we have the fruits, the veggies, the greens that we mix in that we talked about earlier. But the bulk of it, the meat, I'm usually buying those every other month, because when I meal prep, I usually buy and make enough to get me through quite a while before I have to shop again. And the same with my snapper food. We're talking shrimps, fish, because then he also gets commercial turtle food. So I like to rotate the food and give him a variety, which makes those frozen items last longer. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything else. I don't think so. Sometimes I get jug water from the store as opposed to using ReptiSafe and treating my tap water, especially for my amphibians, and sometimes for my snapping turtle because they're a little more sensitive to their water. But other than that, that's all I can really think of. I think those are kind of my main expenses. You keep lots of reptiles. What are your main expenses? Leave them in the comments below, because now I'm curious, now that I've kind of looked at what I spend my money on, I want to know where you guys are spending most of your money. And that's a wrap on this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like usual, we'll see you for the next video. Bye!